So today I'm going to show you how to set up this Newton's second law lab. We have this little cart and we are going to hang a mass along this pulley here, and essentially the mass is going to hang over the string over the pulley, and it's going to hang down, and it's going to cause a force to be exerted on this cart. Now, there's actually two ways we can find forces. One, we can determine the mass of an object. This is a 200 gram mass. We can use our equation for force of gravity equals mass times acceleration due to gravity to find the weight on that. We also can just take a set of scales. This is giving us a mass in newtons, and we can just find the weight like this, of course. So you're going to do it both ways. You're also going to have to find the mass of these. I just call them masses, but they're just little black blocks here. You're going to have to find the mass of those. You're going to have to find the mass of this. And specifically, you need to know how much this weighs. Why does that matter? Well, when this dangles off of over this, it pulls downward with the force. So the whole time this is pulling, we also can put this scale right here, and we can actually measure the force that it's pulling this with. So the string, all it's doing is pulling, and it's changing the direction, but this force should be the same. See how it's about 2? And then it would have been about 2 when I lifted it up like this. The force really should not be changing. It's about 2 newtons, but you'll have to find your own when you do it. Now, the setup for the lab is kind of tricky in that you're going to be trying to find the time it takes for this cart to roll forward from a designated place. And this is really tricky, and this is set up to have anywhere from 2 to 4 people doing this. At least 3 is ideal. I'm going to be trying to do this just to show you by myself, but just know this takes several people to do successfully, because for one thing, one person's job is just going to be to hold this little block of wood kind of where it is. That's one person's job, hold the block of wood. Somebody else's job is going to be to keep track of time with a video camera. Now, the one thing you're going to need to do is you need to lower this block down so that it's touching the floor. This is a really important position when it's touching the floor, and that is a point where you need to document with your meter stick, and you need to figure out what that distance is where it's stopping, because basically this is actually going to be the end point of your acceleration, where that is, where the string is touching the floor. Then there's another important point. You have to back up here until this hits. That's another super important point right here. You're going to put that down, and that is going to represent where you start. So there's going to be an acceleration distance that starts where that's touching, and then it goes all the way over to when that touches the ground. So, can we show in the video that that's going down and touching the ground there? That's what I'm kind of needing to show. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman. And then we're back up here. So it's important you have 2 distances here, and they are connected to where the weight is on there. That's the most important thing. And then what you're effectively going to do, I'm going to take this loose because it's making a mess, is with your meter stick, what works the best is if you have the car starting back here at zero distance, and then it's going to roll forward, and then you'll have some documented distance of when it stops. So your distance will be a set amount. It's going to be somewhere around 70 to 80 centimeters, which would be 0.7 or 0.8 meters. And that distance is never going to change on all of your measurements. It'll always be the same distance. And then you'll video it, and you'll run this again and again, where you put different masses on here. You'll run it again and again where this cart rolls forward. This time should change as you put more and more mass on it, Eventually, by the end, you'll end up stacking 5 of these up on here. Now here's where we need to make sure and be careful, because when this cart's racing forward, it's going to be bashing into this. Somebody's job is to hold on to this, so when it bashes into it, it doesn't go crazy. And also, probably put a little piece of tape or something on these so they don't go too crazy. That should take care of you. Be extra careful with these. They don't fall off and hit somebody. Make sure you don't put your finger in here and you get your finger smashed. But thank you and best luck.